Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining A Framer's Touch for our weekly happy hour segment. Today, we have artist Emily Barnes. She's an illustrator, and she's going to talk about making a living doing illustrations as a full-time artist. Let's bring Emily on. Hi, Emily. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Kristen?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining us today. I thought you are perfect to interview. I really wanted to show and have people understand you can make a living being an artist, and you are a full-time illustrator and creative entrepreneur. And so many artists that come in my gallery, they shortchange themselves and their ability, and they're like, oh, I just as a hobby or do this and that. But you've dedicated everything to your work.
Yes, everything for time, energy, tears, heart. It's true.
Can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and what it is you do?
Yeah, so my name is Emily Barnes. I'm 25. I started illustrating 3 years ago now, so at 22, and I did not go to school for it. Like, I've always been creative. I've always played around, but that's just all it was, is just playing around. And then I started just posting on Instagram 3 years ago, and I just made this handle, Illustrations by M, and it was all about just a space and an outlet for myself to kind of put all of the dating woes and yeah, the ambiguity of just trying to figure out what I wanted my next steps to be, which can be really paralyzing. I just finished school, and so I kind of fell into it. I just created art. I wasn't good at it. I just had a story to tell, really, and kept at it. And then a year after posting, I decided totally left field, no one in my family would ever think I'd be self-employed, because I always proclaimed I wanted dental insurance, and wanting stability, but lo and behold, you can't plan your life. So yeah, a year after posting, I decided to actually go for it, and I'm so glad I did. Really, the heart behind everything I do, illustration wise and creative wise, is not letting the fear of failure stop me, and also preaching that message, because that happens for so many people, and it happens for me too, but I'm constantly reminding myself, what's the worst that could happen? I'd rather not be on my deathbed and wishing I had tried, so that's what I do. I just try.
Can I do a screen share and show the audience a little bit of you? Oh, there you are.
And yeah. So I started primarily with watercolor. Now I would say my main medium is digital illustration, and then I've been playing with Copic markers as well. So it's kind of the mix of traditional and digital art. A lot of my stuff right now is based on finding the magic in the mundane moments. So it's a lot of just scenes that you'd see in everyday life, kind of crying in someone's arms or reading a book. And then I also have these just kind of message-based illustrations. So it's a combination. Here, right, this piece, the breathe in positivity, breathe out negativity, that's one of the more message-based experimental pieces too. It's a little bit I always like to go outside of my style, stay in my style, but try new things. This is very geometric, and the colors are a little bit off, whereas I kind of stay true to just the natural colors of her skin color is blue, but it's just fun to try new things.
You're a full-time entrepreneur, so in what form do you sell your pieces? Are they greeting cards, or are they on wood?
Yeah, so right now I sell a lot of prints. So they're prints 8x8 on quality cardstock paper, and then I sell stickers, sticker packs, mugs, t-shirts. And I also have an illustrated book, so my illustrations, and then also my writing. Um, but yeah, and then I do a lot of custom work. That's kind of the business side of my, like, being able to be a full-time creative entrepreneur is more on the custom work and the design work that keeps me like afloat, pays the bills, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And now you have a store, it's called One Stop Whimsy Shop.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like my dubbed name, One Stop Whimsy Shop, all things whimsical. And then it's just illustrations by m.com, which is where you can find all of these little goodies that, like, their aim is to kind of bring smiles and like the whimsical lens of the world into your home.
I love it, like the life map here. How perfect is that?
Yeah. So this life map, it has a lot of meaning for me because I drew this right at that year point that I told you about, right when I decided to make this into a business, and I had no idea how to start. So I'm like, okay, well, let's try to like make it into some tangible thing. And so it's just like little clear things that like anyone can kind of figure out, you know? It's not like, oh, like build the perfect business. It's like, no, time management, like try to figure out what my vision is, be thankful and like in the moment and take risks and chances, and then to love wholly always, because I feel like being a human and like, you know, uh, just like experiencing life and being fully there and loving on people is very important, like apart from the monetary, you know, like this is my business. It's like, no, this is like inspiring people, you know?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in a sense you're creating and sharing a piece of yourself with the world.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of vulnerability there, but also a lot of power, I think, in that.
And this has just so much inspiration for people to look at it. I mean, if when you plot things out like this, it takes some of the fear out of it because you see all the little baby steps and all the little hurdles that once you
Mhm.
get to the from time management to the clear vision, then you can work on something else. It doesn't all have to happen at one time. It's like life. It's a process.
Yeah, like baby steps. If you've
That's
ever seen
right.
What About Bob?
There-
Baby steps. Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I also know you have quite a following on Instagram. You've got what, over 23,000 or something like that followers?
Yeah, it's been growing, slowly growing, and I post almost every day, which helps grow the community. And it's really cool. It's a really cool space to grow just as an artist and my business. Yeah. And
And
this piece, oh, sorry, did I
you go
interrupt?
ahead.
Okay. This piece, so I'm a very feelings person. Like, you know, I've got a lot of feelings. I'm not ashamed. But this piece is kind of like, I guess, personifying what that looks like. Just how like things kind of build up and like you feel all like emotionally constipated, and when you're trying to hold it back, and then you like finally let it go, and then you have that relief, and then it's just literally a recycle. Like that happens over and over. So, yeah, just kind
I
of a lighthearted way to express that.
I can so relate to that. Post new original art like every day.
New original pieces almost every day, and then sometimes I will like post 10 different prints that are like I'm releasing because I started recycling and rotating them. So I'll take them out of my shop and release the new ones. So I'll post about that, but I do try to post every day.
Do you ever have like artist block?
Yeah, like I think that most people do. um, I do try to combat that. I really try to look at creativity as like a muscle and something that you really need to like exercise and grow. And it's not like waiting to be hit, you know, struck by lightning with inspiration. You have to kind of just like really work at it and I do keep, like, I have little tools set in place to help with artist block, since it is like, this is like my livelihood too.
Right.
Yeah, so it's definitely important to like figure out how to navigate that. So I have like a sketchbook that I will just keep ideas in constantly. So if I have a really dry day, I'll just like pull out that and like kind of flesh out one idea I already had.
Uh-huh.
And then bi-weekly, so almost every 2 weeks, I'll have just like, usually on Mondays, because Mondays, nobody likes Mondays. So I'll like have that as a creative day solely. And I'll just like schedule in like a walk and like, just thinking and like just trying to like revamp the inspiration. I think is really important, and it kind of lets my own brain like have a breather, so that helps.
And the journaling is fantastic. We interviewed several people through our happy hour, and they do journaling. And Emily Lux in Forest Grove, her big thing is it's an idea book. You just
Ooh, yeah.
you just put it in there, and ideas form. So that's essentially what you're doing, is you're just putting it out there, and then you might come back and revisit it.
Yes, yeah, it's very vital. And just like journaling with words too, because words and illustrations, like they're both doing the same thing, and that's storytelling. So yeah, whatever form works for you, like go for it.
Okay. Well, Emily, thank you so very much for joining us and talking about your entrepreneurship and how you are making a living and what inspires you and how it creates art. And I encourage everybody to go to the One Stop Whimsy shop and shop your art and take a look at all of it and follow you on Instagram. So thanks so much for your time and visiting us with today.
Yeah, thank you, Kristen. It was great to see you.
We'll talk soon. Thank you all for joining us today for our happy hour segment. I hope you enjoyed your time with Emily Barnes as much as I did. Please follow her on her Instagram page and check out her store at One Stop Whimsy Shop. We look forward to our next happy hour segment. So until then,